video number 2, in which I would like you to do something for me. I'd like you to email me to let me know that you've seen this video. That shows me 2 things: that you've accessed the newsfeed and that you know how to contact me through email. On to the notebook. So this is a 4U class. You are able to use this course and the grades that you achieve in this course as your best 6 towards university applications. And so I treat it very seriously and treat it as if I would if you were in my classroom and I was in front of you. So what I would like you to do is to make a Google Doc. Now, many of us have our Google accounts, and so it's pretty easy to do that. And then you have an ongoing Google Doc where you can just continue to edit it, and then you can submit it at the various points that I'd like you to at the end of each unit. So in terms of looking at what goes into the notebook, the first thing is that when you're going through your course, there's a lot of course content. In that very first activity, there's a lot of terms and definitions for both courses that I'm speaking to. And so those terms and definitions will be very important to include in your notes, as well as any videos or notes that you make on the videos. The other thing that I would like you to ensure that you put in that notebook or your ongoing Google Doc are activities that you're asked to do, reflections, questions, or anything that it says post to your ePortfolio. If you go to your icons, you do have a portfolio, but it's touch and go in terms of saving things to it. So if you do see submit to your ePortfolio, I would like you to put it into your ongoing notebook. Anything that you post in discussions, I would highly encourage you to put it in your Google Doc first and then copy and paste it into the discussion. It is very important because there are glitches that happen and you could type up an entire response and then lose it. But if you type it in there first, the easiest solution is to go back and put it in. So it also helps you frame your thinking, making sure that you're putting everything in that you need to, and then it's a quick copy and paste over to the discussion post. Any planning that you do for any assignments or any reflective work that it asks you to include, that should also go in. In EWC, there's something called metacognitive moments, and what those are: metacognition is the idea of thinking about how you're thinking, and so it's got a lot of reflections in that course. There are times when you have to submit it to a Dropbox where it'll have a little box at the bottom that says submit your work in the content. And there will be other times where I will instruct you to put those within your notebook. Best practice is to put them all in your notebook, and then you can also submit it to the Dropbox. So this is an example from HHS, from the very first unit. Just as an example, their very first activity is to analyze a poem and then post a discussion. So I posted the poem and then wrote a discussion post. This was also some of the content that I copied and pasted and put in there, but summarized some of the key parts. So as I go through, there was an activity that I needed to do and fill out that I can put it there and fill it out within there. And then I have my planning notes for any assignments that I need to have. I will do one for EWC for Writer's Craft, and I will post it eventually to the newsfeed once I get around to it. I'll be working on that while you're going through the orientation course. So through these 2 videos, I've asked you to get familiar with all the important places that you can find your content, submit your assignments, and examine your grades as well as your feedback. One important part that I'm just seeing there is the calendar. I apologize, I'm not right on it. So on your course home is where you're going to find that news feed. Every so often I would check just to make sure that I posted something. I'll try and also include it within the email system as well, but that doesn't always happen. So what you'll have here is a calendar, and when you see these little dots show up, that means there's an assignment attached to that. And so this was my course from last semester. So on the 21st, they had all of these. And what you'll actually see is when you see them on the calendar, that it'll link it here. And these actually become links to the drop boxes, so that you can actually go and hand in those assignments. So there's 3 different ways to access your assignment locations. 1 in content, 2 in the Dropbox and discussion, and 3 on that course home. You're going to see the calendar, and then you can go through the calendar to see the dates and click on the links. So I've asked you in this video to email me showing me that you've identified where the news feed is and that you have seen these videos. And last but not least, it would be a great time to start creating that notebook. At least open up the Google Doc, know where you're going to find it, and know that you are expected as you go through this course to make notes throughout its entirety. Have a great day. I hope you get through that orientation course quickly. If you have any questions, know how to email me, and I am happy to get back to you. See ya.